guys, I'm Nagar, and today we are going to be doing a super fun, super sweaty fat loss workout in just 16 and a half minutes. I know it seems like a ridiculously exact number, but what we're going to do to ensure that we make the most efficient use of our time is we're going to use a timer. So if you've got something like this, if you've got an interval timer like a Gym Boss or anything else, you can set your timer, or you can just use your smartphone and use the clock on your smartphone, the stopwatch on your smartphone, okay? But we are going to make sure that we keep strict work to rest periods to ensure that this workout takes us exactly 16 and a half minutes with rest periods, okay? We're gonna do 5 exercises. It's gonna be all body weight. If you want to add some load or some different equipment to switch it up or maybe make the workout a little bit more advanced for you, please, by all means, feel free to do so. I want everybody to work at their own level. But this workout is designed so that if you are a beginner, you can still do it. If not, you can advance on it. Or if you're in a situation where you don't have any equipment, you can still tackle your fat loss goals, okay? So 5 exercises. Each exercise is going to be performed for 30 seconds, and you're going to take a 30-second break. After the 5th exercise, you're going to take a 60-second break so that you've got more time to recover and go into the next round. I want you to make sure that you've got what it takes to be able to really go into the next round and really give it your all. If for whatever reason after that 60 seconds you don't feel up to it and you've got a little bit more time, take a little bit of a longer rest, okay? So the 5 exercises are going to be a glute bridge, a inchworm, a reverse lunge, a reptile plank or reptile push-up, and a squat. And I'm going to show you some ways that you can advance each one of these exercises as we go along, and I just want you to choose the option that's best for you. Before we begin, I just want to iterate that although we are doing 30-second work periods, anything that I tell you to do is simply a suggestion. It's not a requirement, it's not an obligation, it's not something you have to do. If I say work for 30 seconds and by 20 seconds your form starts to deteriorate and you just don't feel like you've got it anymore, go ahead and stop, okay? The point is not to push yourself for the 30 seconds, rather to perform with integrity and good movement for the entirety of the 30 seconds, okay? So the first exercise is going to be the glute bridge. Pretty straightforward. We're going to work the glutes and the hamstrings and the core and really keep that posterior chain turned on, okay? So you're going to lay on your back and you're going to bend your knees about 45 degrees and flatten the back by engaging the abs. You don't want to start with your back arch, okay? And drive through the heels to lift the hips up, squeezing the glutes without arching the back. So your goal should be to create as straight of a line as possible from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. You don't want to open up your rib cage and arch your back, okay? You want to make sure that you're really using your glutes the whole time, and your abs should be nice and tight so that your entire core is engaged, okay? You can advance that by doing bridges on one leg, and you do that just by bringing one knee into your chest and bridging up on one leg. So this is a lot harder, okay? And you're going to do that for 15 seconds on each side, or you can add load. So those of you who are a little bit more advanced, you can pad a barbell and you can do weighted glute bridges. So that's your first exercise, 30 seconds of glute bridges followed by 30 seconds of rest. Once you've completed your 30-second rest period, we're going to move on into an inchworm. So anybody can do this exercise, and if you're new to exercise, then go ahead and just do the inchworm. If you're a little more advanced, I'll show you some progressions. So for the inchworm, we're going to start standing up nice and tall. You're going to hinge at your hips, and if you need to bend your knees to touch the floor because maybe your hamstrings are a little tight, that's okay. I just don't want you to round your back if you can help it, okay? So touch your hands to the ground, and you're going to walk out until you're in a plank position or a push-up position. Okay, everything nice and tight here, and walk it back. And the goal is to walk out without wobbling a lot side to side, and to create that nice, tight, solid plank position where you're creating a straight line from your ear to your ankle. Okay, and walk back. So you're either going to do that for 30 seconds, or you can add in some progressions. So one progression would be to walk out and then go down and then up and walk back. Or an even more advanced progression would be to walk out a little bit further. And if you want to go even further from there, you can go down on both elbows at the same time, back up, and then walk it back. So that's your inchworm. You're going to do that for 30 seconds and rest for 30 seconds. So in that first exercise, really use the glutes and the hamstrings and engage the trunk as well. In this exercise, we're going to get shoulder stability, we're going to work the core, and you're going to be moving a lot, so you're going to get your heart rate up, okay? The third exercise is a reverse lunge. So you're just going to stand up nice and tall, and we're going to alternate reversing that lunge simply by stepping back, touching the knee to the ground, and stepping forward. And the other leg stepping back and stepping forward. You want to make sure that you keep your hip underneath your shoulder, really engage the glute with that back leg, and when you step up, you're really pushing through the heel of the front leg, okay? So if you find that you're having a hard time staying upright and you're kind of wobbling a lot, one great thing to do is to put your hands behind your head and pull your elbows back, and that'll force good posture. You can always put your hands on your hips or out to the side. If you want to make the lunge a little bit more challenging and you can easily do a reverse lunge, you can add some weight. You can hold onto a kettlebell, throw on a weight vest, even put a barbell on your back, whatever you have available to you. Or you can make it a plyometric exercise by turning it into a lunge jump. So it's essentially the same movement, and we're gonna alternate sides, except we're gonna add that dynamic movement there, hopefully without wobbling like I did. And you're gonna continue to do that for the 30 seconds. That's gonna really burn your legs for 30 seconds. So if you get about halfway through and you're like, holy crap, I can't do 30 seconds of lunge jumps, just switch to the reverse lunge, okay? It's essentially the same movement. So after you do that lunge, whatever variation you choose, you're gonna rest 30 seconds. Then you're gonna move on to the fourth exercise, which is the reptile plank. So we're gonna go into a plank position. Again, we're gonna work that shoulder girdle, we're gonna work the core, okay? And we're gonna add in a little bit of rotary stability here. So you get into that plank position, and all you're gonna do is pull your right knee to your right armpit and back. Left knee to left armpit and back. And as you can see, when I pull my knee forward, I'm not collapsing into my plank or sticking my butt up in the air, keeping that good solid plank position. This is easy for you and you want to make it a little bit more challenging, turn it into a reptile push-up. So as you bring that knee forward, you push up. Knee forward, down, and up. Whew. And those are really challenging. So if you decide you want to do the reptile push-up, you get halfway through your 30-second interval and you're just burnt out, just switch to the reptile plank, okay? 30 more seconds of rest, and then we're moving on to the last exercise, which is the squat. So if you're a beginner, I want you to just do a nice bodyweight squat. Feet right outside of your hips, and you're going to squat down, making sure that the knees stay wide, you don't want the knees caving in, and the torso stays up nice and tall, and stand up, squeeze the butt, brace the abs. So you'll squat down, nice tall torso, you don't want to be hunched over, and stand up, okay? It can help if you're just starting this out to bring your arms out in front, because that'll create a counterbalance. So that'll help your torso stay a little bit more upright, and you reach out, and as you come up, bring your arms back in, okay? If that's still too hard, you can use a very light weight, like a light medicine ball, or a 5-pound weight as a counterbalance, okay? If you want to progress this, make the squat a little bit more challenging, you can add weight, so you can hold on to a kettlebell, a pair of dumbbells, a barbell on your back, whatever you want to do, even a weight vest, whatever is going to make the exercise work for you. Or, again, you can turn it into a plyometric movement, so you would do a squat jump instead of a regular squat, okay? So you make it a little more dynamic, you squat down, jump up, okay? And you do that for 30 seconds. Again, jumping up and down for 30 seconds, that is going to burn your legs. So if you get halfway through, even 10 seconds into those squat jumps, and you're like, hell no, just switch to bodyweight squats, okay? No judgment here, just awareness. Honor your body and do what works for you. After you finish whatever squat variation you choose for 30 seconds, you're going to take a 60-second break, a full minute. I want you to recover. Get water, do whatever you need to do to get yourself pumped up and ready for the next round. you're gonna do 2 more rounds. And once you complete 3 total rounds of these intervals, you're gonna end up with 16 and a half minutes. So use that last 60-second break to really cool down, maybe stretch, foam roll, whatever it is you need to do to relax. Maybe you'll be on the floor in a pile of sweat, whatever works for you. But again, I want you to remember that each of these exercises has so many different regressions and progressions. So I want you to choose one that really works for your body, where you are today. I want you to make sure that your movement is graceful, and it might not be effortless, but it shouldn't be like you're trying to crank out reps. It should really feel great and fluid, okay? And most of all, I want you to have fun. So fat loss can be a drudging experience. It can be terrible, it can be miserable, or it can be enlightening and enriching. So more than anything, I want you to approach this workout with joy in your heart, with gratitude for movement, and I want you to have a really good time. See you next time.